2024, there's no question that we are in the dawn of a new age in music. And I think a lot of things changed this year. So I wanted to go over my 5 biggest takeaways from the past 12 months. Number 5. Similarly to the dawn of the internet in the 90s and social media in the 2010s, we don't really know exactly what the impact is going to be of AI in our day-to-day lives. What we do know is that those who take advantage of this technology and know how to use it are going to gain a leg up on the competition. We already see apps like managers.ai and Roadie, which help smaller artists plan releases, generate marketing strategies, and take care of a lot of the administrative stuff that used to be so difficult. This is a huge asset for a growing population of musicians that are cutting it on their own and don't have the resources of a manager, agent, or lawyer. In terms of the actual music, there's a lot of software being developed to tackle songwriting, production, and even engineering. If you are an artist looking to make a hit song, why not use a program that analyzes every hit song from the last 60 years and can generate a new one tailored to you? Then you don't have to split out royalties to other songwriters and producers, therefore making your share of profits greater. Although this is all in the early stages and lacks the quality of working with a professional today, I could see these websites advancing and posing a serious threat to the working infrastructure of what it takes to make a song. Number 4. If you peek through the sea of cookie cutter 2-minute tracks and commercial cash grabs, what you'll find is a ton of really great music. As opposed to years in the past, a lot of the biggest records to come out in 2024 were of high quality. And I think you see established artists really leaning into the landscape as it stands. Where it seems like being unique and standing out is what gets an audience's attention. And on the flip side, there's a lot of great music coming out of the underground as well. Technology has advanced to the point where anyone with the talent to do it can make a great project with a $100 microphone and some time away from their day job. And with how easy it is to release music with no label or money, we are seeing more of these artists than ever get out there and reach fans. Number 3. It was a big year for the girls. Outside of Kendrick and a couple others, pretty much all of the biggest moments in music this year came from female artists. We saw Billie Eilish's coronation with her album Hit Me Hard and Soft. Billie got widespread support from pretty much everyone this year and is a top pick for Artist of the Year from most music publications. And I think she has stuck to her guns and evolved as an artist into one of the very few who can make groundbreaking music and have that heard by millions of fans. Speaking of which, it seems like every year there are a couple artists who come out of nowhere to reach massive mainstream success. And this year that was Charlie XCX, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. Although these three were by no means small artists prior to 2024, they have seen a considerable rise in popularity and are now everywhere. I think you can see their impact most on social media, where the biggest trends of the year seem to involve their music or brand in some way. You can't go to the mall, club, or airport without hearing one of their songs. And I'm very interested to see if they will each be able to hold up to this standard in the years that follow. But it's not just pop music where the girls are taking over. At the moment, we are seeing Doechii hit a stride in hip-hop that only leads in one direction, and that's to the top. Over the past few months, her Tiny Desk and late night appearances have blown up all over social media, and I think rightly so. Doechii has an incredibly unique way of writing and performing her music that I think is connecting on a large scale right now. And what separates her from a lot of female rappers in the space is that she refuses to fit the mold. So I think sky is the limit for Doechii, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple years from now, we're looking at her as one of the biggest figures in hip hop. Number 2, the death of artist development. I think there is few things better than finding a new artist that nobody else knows about. You get to root for them as they rise or fade off into obscurity. And in the past, these artists were mostly signed to labels under what was called artist development. This was a technique used for many years where labels would cast a wide net at smaller artists and hope to turn them into big stars. In today's world, though, this is a rarity. What you see now is that labels don't get involved until after you've already established a fan base and have some movement and traction going on behind your project. Which begs the question, what do we still need them for? If we can write, record, release, and market our own music, what's the point of getting a label involved? And the answer is this: they still hold the keys to that next level. If you want to be on the Spotify main page or on the biggest playlist in the world, you have to be signed to a label. They have 100 years of connections and are tied into most streaming and marketing platforms in the music industry. So as it stands, labels get to reap the rewards of having big artists on their roster without putting in that groundwork and investment in the early days. And although I would like to think that this will change with the direction everything is heading, I'm not so sure. Number 1. This year, Kendrick separated himself as the undisputed best rapper alive. I think for a long time, he has been recognized as the best lyricist and artist in terms of generating a meaningful body of work. But the argument has always been that he doesn't chart like Drake, Kanye, or even Travis Scott. That all changed this year. When stacked up against rap's greatest hitmaker, Kendrick was superior in every way. During the back and forth battle where it seemed like a diss track was dropping every other hour, songs like 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Like That were not only better from a music message and lyrical content standpoint, but they also did bigger numbers, which I think surprised a lot of people. And just when we thought the beef had settled and Kendrick came out on top, he would drop his biggest song ever, Not Like Us. In the land of individualized Spotify algorithms, we don't have too many nationwide hits anymore. But that was not the case with Not Like Us. When this track dropped, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing it. Whether you were walking down the street and someone was blasting it out of their car, or you were in the club where pretty much every DJ played it in their sets. It was arguably the biggest moment in music this year, and I think that still stands to today. I mean, I was at an Ohio State football game last week, and when they played this song, it had 40-year-old Midwest dads jumping around and chanting, "They Not Like Us." And I think that's reach that's generally unprecedented in hip hop. And while Kendrick dropped his 6th studio album, GNX, to massive commercial and critical acclaim, Drake sued him for faking streams on Not Like Us, showing the huge gap between the two of them and where they're at in their careers at the moment. You have Drake, who basically just sells gambling to 14-year-olds, and you have Kendrick doing cooler, better shit. So yeah, that's gonna do it for 2024. Overall, a great year of music in my opinion. I think we're headed in a good direction from the music standpoint. Everything around the actual music, things are starting to get a little bit dicier, but it's hard to predict all that stuff. I think right now there's great music that a lot of people are listening to, and I'm excited about that.